Hi. This week I'd like to talk about mediation inside of organizations. Mediation, number one, is an interest-based conflict resolution process where a third neutral party assists two or more organizational members in reaching a decision on their own. Now, in public mediation, neutral means that person has never met the dispute and there's no relationship. In organizations, that's not always the case. In organizations, it simply means the third party is not part of the conflict and the disputants agree to the third party to assist. So the mediation process attempts to do this in a way that demonstrates respect for the individuals involved. It seeks win-win solutions where all of the needs are satisfied so that there's no shortcomings, and the third party is neutral to the content. There's two types of common mediation, facilitative and transformative. And in facilitative mediation, the third party is more directive with the process, and the emphasis is on settlement. So really what it's all about is let's resolve the conflict, and yet still do it in a way that recognizes a relationship and is respectful. So the facilitator guides the disputing parties through a specific process, and it focuses on the underlying interests of both parties and not their positions. So it's trying to meet their needs. And they're still sensitive to that relationship, just the process is more dependent on the mediator. Now in transformative mediation, the emphasis really is on the relationship. And so it moves much slower. It's less driven by the third party. The third party assists with process and content, but the disputants they're really responsible to set the direction and the rate of progress as well as the goals, and it would be much longer term to get through it. The mediator serves more to support the disputants' decisions in moving forward with the process and content. An example of this, following some of the workplace violence incidents in U.S. post offices, some of the post offices started using a transformative mediation process to not only resolve internal conflicts but to build relationship that would be lasting over time. Both of these forms exist today. There are advocates for both forms. The organization's situation probably best determines which mediation process fits and would be more effective. The facilitative mediation really works well in task-oriented organizations, and there's an emphasis on achieving timely results, and so it effectively resolves the conflict and the relationships are preserved. So I want to focus a little bit more on this process. Advantages of using mediation in the organization is, number one, the members, organizational members, or the disputants, they retain control over the solutions to their problems, and that's really important. The process provides a means for articulating difficult organizational issues and problems. In resolving conflicts, it's more economical than leaving the conflicts unresolved or allowing them to escalate. Also, the process builds, maintains, and preserves working relationships throughout the organization. It provides an opportunity for organizational members to reach collaborative solutions to organizational problems as they work together in solving it. And the process is viewed as providing a value-added service to the organization. And it also it allows organizational members to take ownership of the problems and to be accountable for not only the problems but the resolutions. Now, disadvantages of using mediation, well, probably the number one disadvantage is it can take time. So there's there's a cost to time, and there's a cost to assembling organizational members, to working this out in a collaborative way and using another organizational member as a third party. There is also a training cost associated to developing the mediation skills with key organizational members so that they can practice this. From an individual perspective, some may perceive it as a disadvantage to have to take ownership and responsibility for a problem. Some people avoid that. And it can be much easier just to rely on a higher authority to make a decision, and then you blame the higher authority for your dissatisfaction after they make that decision. Some organizational members may perceive they're actually giving up power by collaborating, in other words, they would prefer to work the political system and get greater personal gain in a win-lose decision. Now, the problem with that is relationships deteriorate over time. So, but there still may be individuals from their point of view that prefer because of that. I use Moore's book on the mediation process as a source for this, so it'll be listed in the transcript that I post online. Thanks.